Hello, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. Thank you very much for being a time traveler. This is your exclusive super full moon in Cancer reading. Keep in mind, as always, it's a collective general reading. Messages may come through today that don't fully resonate. And if that happens, it's okay. It just means it's meant for someone else. So take what fits, how it fits, leave what doesn't. Be sure to check out your other placements. If you don't know what they are, in the description box is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. With all of that said, let's begin. Aries and Taurus was tough, so let's see what we have for us. As most of you know, I am a Gemini sun. So we have Falling Angel, Spiritual Narcolepsy, card number 19. Last quarter moon in Sagittarius, Practice Gratitude. And Moonlit, Embrace Uncertainty. Okay. Tell me why this is the super full moon and Cancer message here for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. We are clarifying Falling Angel, Spiritual Narcolepsy, card number 19. Last quarter moon in Sagittarius, Practice Gratitude. And Moonlit, Embrace Uncertainty. Okay, for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. Let's get one more shuffle here. Thank you. You have the Seven of Wands. You have the Hanged Man. You have the Ace of Cups. You have the Eight of Cups. You have the Eight of Swords. And you have the King of Wands. At the bottom of the deck, you have a Page of Swords, the Devil, and the Four of Cups. You are sleeping on the job, my friend. And I don't know why that is. Two of Cups, Ace of Wands, Hierophant, and the Queen of Wands here at the bottom of the deck. Obviously, we're going to clarify, but you are resisting walking towards some spiritual calling here. I think some of you are falling asleep, like on your spiritual gifts. Your Devil to the Four of Cups, like you're not, it's like you're being tempted or persuaded in some way to not move towards your spiritual gifts. All right, Seven of Wands. Tell me why the Seven of Wands is here for Gemini. Why is the Seven of Wands here for Gemini? One more shuffle here. Thank you. You're denying the Ace of Cups. Okay, Seven of Wands, clarified by the Six of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, and the Ten of Cups. Bottom of the deck, the Moon card. So you are asleep at the wheel, basically. Something here is tempting you or persuading you or instilling some level of fear or doubt or anxiety in the Gemini collective to not accept the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is here. It's here for the taking. It's here for the creating. You're almost being persuaded or tempted in some way to ignore it. You're falling asleep here. I just keep hearing you're falling asleep at the wheel. Okay, practice gratitude. The Hangman and the Eight of Swords. Why is the Eight of Swords here? I feel like you're too consumed with something else. You're not focusing enough time or energy on your spiritual gifts or spiritual practice here that you're supposed to have. Okay, tell me about the Eight of Swords here for Gemini. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Eight of Swords is clarified by the Ten of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the Star card. And I'm going to take that notification on my phone as a yes. You seem to be, don't get mad at me. You seem to be preoccupied here with some type of long-term abundance or long-term success. And I don't know if that's in career and finance or love and romance, but I feel like you're missing the point. I feel like you're missing the point here. It's like you're very focused on like, oh, I want to make money, right? Like trying to find a way to make money, which is, it's normal, it's reasonable, right? Or I'm trying to find a way to attain the Ten of Cups within a romantic partnership. Like whatever this is for you, you just seem to be more up in your head about how to attain this, which is part of your wish fulfillment. And instead, I think you need to lean into your spiritual gifts. It's almost like you're ignoring your spiritual gifts here because you're being too preoccupied by something or someone else. Tell me about that Ace of Cups. Obviously, we're gonna clarify this even more for you, but you're too concerned with something else or someone else. Ace of Cups. Tell me about the Ace of Cups here. The King of Wands is the energy of someone who goes after what they want, right? That is the top tier of the wand suit. Kings take action. They move into the future. You're supposed to be brave and move into the future with some type of, I don't know, see how we have like this eye here, like the all-seeing eye. I feel like I've tapped into a group of you where you are ignoring a spiritual gift that you have, or you're reluctant to explore it, or reluctant to move forward with it. Maybe you think there's no money in it, but I don't think that's the case. Nine of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Cups. I don't know what this is. I got to be honest with you. It's like you have some kind of spiritual gift inside of you, and you've had it since you were a child. There's something here you've had since you were a child. You've been carrying this gift with you for a long time, and you don't make good use of it. Either you think people will make fun of you, or you think that it's impossible for you to make money utilizing this gift. I can tell you, as a Gemini who does use their spiritual gifts, it is very rewarding, and there is monetary reward for it. So it's not like I'm, it's winter here, right? It's like 19 degrees outside right now. I mean, I have heat in my house. I mean, do I live in a mansion and I'm, driving a Cybertruck or something? No, but I can put gas in my car. I can keep my lights on. I eat a decent meal. I'm a fairly simple person. But for some of you, it's like you have had this gift in you since you were a child. Now, you think that maybe moving forward with it, people would look at you like you're immature or you're childlike, or you have been taught to suppress this since you were a child, so now you're reluctant to move forward. And others of you think that there's no money to be had here. Like, oh yeah, I'd like to go around healing the world, but what am I supposed to do? Eat stale bread 3 times a day as a meal? Like, some of you think there's no monetary reward. Death to the Knight of Cups. I think there is. I think you're falling asleep on this. Spiritual narcolepsy. What is this that is preoccupying you? Fears, doubts, insecurities, something or someone. Something is holding you back. Look. You have the Ace of Cups. You have the all-seeing eye here, right? Shining down on this Ace of Cups. Then you have the hand of God in this deck, literally trying to give you this Ace of Cups. And then there's something here like preventing you from moving forward on it, or inquiring more about it, or even just telling people you have it. Like, maybe for some of you, you're like me, where you do have, a spiritual practice. Maybe you are leaning into your spiritual gifts, but maybe people in your community don't know, or your friends or family don't know. It could be something like that. Like you're reluctant to tell people what you do. Maybe you think that they'll make fun of you or something like that. Tell me about that Devil card here. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Devil is clarified by the 3 of Wands, the 3 of Swords, and the 10 of Swords. Oof. Bottom of the deck, King of Cups. Either you are, like I said, you're not moving forward with this because you feel like people would look at you like you're immature, or you have a fear that you're not going to make any money, or you're afraid like this will be like a fly-by-night thing. Like this is not sustainable. It's not wouldn't offer you long-term financial stability. And for others of you, you already acknowledge these gifts, or maybe you're like me, you already utilize these gifts, but you don't want the whole world to know. I mean, you want the world to know. You don't want your inner circle world to know, because you feel like this would be heartbreaking, or they wouldn't accept it, or you would lose some people out of your life if you were to disclose it. This could even be like you have a spiritual belief. You don't want people to know that you're spiritual. Maybe you don't want to go against the culture, go against the grain, go against whatever your society is, your religion. There's something here that you either have this gift and you're afraid to use it, or you're afraid to tell people about this belief or gift that you have. And so I feel like you've been I think you're supposed to practice gratitude, Gemini. I think you're supposed to be grateful that you have this gift, or that you have the ability to monetize it in some way. I don't think you're supposed to keep it from the world, because a handful of people won't accept it or will mock you for it. Judgment. Make the judgment call. So I feel like I have specifically tapped into a group of you where, instead of being grateful for this gift and moving forward on it, or if you have moved forward on it, you have not told a lot of your inner circle about it because you're afraid of what they'll say, or it might end some connections. Okay. How can Gemini overcome this? How can they overcome this? You're supposed to embrace uncertainty and like do it anyway. Say it anyway. Practice it anyway. Launch a spiritual business anyway. You're supposed to be brave and bold enough to do it anyway. Okay. How does Gemini overcome that devil there? One more shuffle here. Thank you. 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, and a 10 of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Fool card. Just do it. Just do it. Don't worry about the conflict. Don't worry about the people who are going to shut you out. Don't worry about the people who feel like, oh, now you're too heavy, or too this or too that, or you're supposed to do it anyway. Okay. It's a pretty cut and dry message here for you, Gemini. So you are supposed to do it anyway. What is this spiritual? You know what? Let me pull these cards up off the table. And because I feel like I have a couple of different groups of you. So let's get a couple of cards for each of the groups that I feel like I'm reading for. So for the group of Gemini, if you identify with this group, then you know or believe that you have some kind of spiritual gift. Something, clairvoyance, clairaudience, the ability to read tarot, the ability to predict the future. I don't know. You have some spiritual gift, and you are unsure about whether or not you should proceed forward with learning more about it, or, you know, maybe even exploring the possibility to help the world, but also monetize it in some way for yourself so that you can make a decent living. So for those of you in group 1, you know you have this gift, but you're afraid to explore it or pursue it. Can we get 3 cards for Gemini in group 1? They have this gift, but they're sleeping on it. They're out of fears and doubts and anxieties. They're not moving forward. 3 cards for that group. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Ace of Cups again. King of Swords, that's you. And the 8 of Pentacles. Start working on it, because the 8 of Pentacles is a card of self-mastery. You start off as a student. Start learning. Take it seriously, this gift that you have. Take the inspired action. Take the inspired action and go after it. Start learning about it. Start mastering this gift. So if you know that you have some kind of gift and you've sort of been sitting on it, your advice here, or at least the message here, is you need to start. I'll pull advice cards for you from what I call the source deck, or the divine deck. That's not really what it's called. It's the name that I gave it. But your message here for group 1 is start learning it. Okay, start sharpening that skill more that you have. Now, group 2. Group 2, you know you have the skill. You're already employing it in some way, but you don't want a lot of people to know about it because you think that you'll be shamed or something like that. Gemini in group 2, they have the gift. They are utilizing it in some way, but they don't want their inner circle to know. Maybe they're embarrassed of it, or they're afraid of rejection, or that they might lose people in their life. Can we get 3 cards for group 2? They have it, they're using it, but they don't tell a lot of people. Let's get one more shuffle here. If you are in group 2, Gemini, the Tower, the King of Pentacles, and the 8 of Swords. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, and the 5 of Wands to the Ace of Wands. The Tower. I feel like you're just supposed to say it anyway. Tell me about the Tower. I feel like you're supposed to tell people, and whoever leaves your life, leaves your life. Like whoever, you're supposed to free yourself from this. Oh my God, what if if the community knew, they would label me a witch. Okay. Some people in my community have labeled me a witch. I'm not a witch, but one of my friends bought me a sign that said the witch is in. And so I displayed it there so the camera would catch it on my videos, because I know some townies, as we call them, watch my videos. So I wanted them to, it's a joke on them because they call me the witch or the gypsy. But again, I live in a very small rural town, extremely religious. I have no problem with religion. I think religion and spirituality go hand in hand in many aspects. I still believe in God. I'm not like anti-God or anything. But yeah, there are people who don't believe it. I've lost some people. Let them fall away. You're supposed to stay grounded here and stable and believe in disbelief. Believe in the belief that you have here, in the gift that you have. Tell me more about that Tower. One more shuffle. Thank you. Yeah, the Fool, the Hierophant, and the High Priestess. My God, what a gift you have. What a spiritual gift you have. If some people are going to leave your life or mischaracterize you or judge you, let them. But you are not supposed to hide or be ashamed of this divine gift that you have. Hierophant to the High Priestess, like you're a highly intuitive or connected individual. Get out of your head about, I might lose some people. Yeah, you probably will. I have. But you're not supposed to be afraid to let people know about your gift. You're actually supposed to be very proud of it. And then I feel like I had a third group of you there. I had a group of you where you were like, I have the gift, but I don't want to do anything with it. And then I had a group of you where you're like employing it, but you don't want your inner circle to know. Okay, group 3, you have this gift. You don't really care who knows and who doesn't know, but you don't quite yet want to monetize, or like you feel like there's no money to be had. So you're kind of like, why bother? I think you're grateful for the gift you have. And again, I don't think you care whether people know about it or not. You just don't seem to think like, oh, I could put it in practice. Sagittarius would be like seeing the big picture. And I think you're reluctant to see that. Maybe you see like, oh, there's no way that I can monetize this and make money. So for Gemini in group 3, tell me about that group. One more shuffle. Thank you. So if you're in group 3 there, 8 of Swords again. Queen of Wands. Oh, I love that. And the 2 of Pentacles. There is money to be made here. 2 of Pentacles and the 7 of Pentacles. There is long-term sustainable financial resources as a result of you taking the inspired action to move forward on this. And like I said, there is nothing wrong making money on a gift that you have. I don't know why people shame the spiritual community with needing to make money to stay alive while they share a gift. Musicians are born with gifts. There are people who are just born knowing how to play the guitar, write a song, sing. I don't see those musicians writing songs for free, doing concerts for free. I mean, I love Taylor Swift, but if you want to go see her concert, you're paying over $1,000 for a decent seat, like a semi-decent seat. She's got to eat. She has a whole crew she has to pay. She has venues she has to rent out. And she needs to make money at the end of the day. I mean, she sings like 45, 46 songs in a row, like every night, So again, I'm not saying that she's justified by the $1,000. I'm just making the example. I'm hard pressed to know anyone who has a natural gift and they don't utilize it for something. Even people who turn to the priesthood, or like my ex-husband had some family members who were nuns. They were still provided for by the Vatican, by the priesthood. Like we have a Methodist church in town. The Methodist pastor is given a home. As long as he serves that church in the capacity of pastor, he's given free residence, all his utilities. He's given a monthly allowance to be able to pay for food for his family. You'd be hard pressed in this day and age to have a gift, whether it is spiritual or not in nature, and that you don't have the ability to monetize it, or that you should be shamed for monetizing it. It's unheard of. You have to be able to keep your lights on and food on the table. This is long-term sustainable money here for those of you who want to do that. 2 of Pentacles plus 7 of Pentacles is 9 Pentacles. Maybe there's someone here in your family, Six of Cups, who told you you can't make money doing this. That's not true at all. So those are your messages, Gemini. Stop falling asleep at the wheel when it comes to this gift or this belief that you have. Let's get you 3 cards of advice. Instead of falling asleep at the wheel, Gemini needs to take the wheel. I might call your video that. It's time to take the wheel. All right, 3 cards of advice here for Gemini. 3 cards of advice here for Gemini. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Your advice, Queen of Swords. See things logically, reasonably, right? This is an individual who sticks to the facts. They know their worth. The 3 of Swords and the 5 of Pentacles, Tower. Your advice, if this is your God-given gift or a belief that you have, there might be some grief. There might be separation. There might be some people who fall out of your life as a result of it. You're supposed to speak the truth anyway. You're supposed to say it anyway. Tower, Ace of Pentacles, 7 of Swords. You're supposed to say it anyway. In the face of opposition, in the face of people calling you a witch, in the face of people who mock you for charging for your services, you're supposed to do it anyway. Queen of Pentacles, the 8 of Swords, and the Hermit. I think you can't see it right now. Hierophant there at the bottom of the deck. A lot of you can't see it right now, but you will be financially comfortable if you were to do this, if you were to pursue this path or incorporate it somehow in the maybe existing business or something like that that you currently have. That is what I have for you, Gemini. Do not fall asleep on this very special divine connection that you have to Source. It's okay to monetize it. Instead of being ashamed of it, you should be grateful for it. And for those of you that feel like, okay, I do have some kind of gift, it's time for you to, I don't know, take life by the wheel and start learning it, okay? That is what I have for you. Embrace the uncertainty and stop falling asleep on your beautiful spiritual gifts here. That is what I have for you, Gemini. Gemini, I was clearing up your decks here, your cards, and I don't know, the message that I got was in that last set of advice cards, you got the Queen of Swords, the 3 of Swords, and then you also had the 5 of Pentacles. There was an additional advice message there for you, and that was for you to use your communicative skills to help heal the hearts, to help individuals that feel neglected, that feel left out in the cold, that feel abandoned by life. I feel like you are like a truth teller to them, and because you have that divine connection to Source, I feel like you would be able to help people heal their inner wounds, their childhood wounds, trauma wounds that they have, and maybe even for some of you, financial wounds as well. Okay, Gemini, that's what I have for you. If you like that additional message, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. And until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace.